How's it going, everybody? Thanks for those joining me live. Those that be joining me on the archive. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the bell. That way you're notified when anytime this all comes on live. And this is not a shocker or surprise, but Saul Canelo Alvarez won the fight. He defeated Edgar Berlanga in pretty decisive, easy fashion, if we're honest. And that fight is now in the review mirror. All right. I did expect Canelo to knock out Edgar Berlanga. I did get that wrong. Um, I will say that the stoppage did not come, and it's not because you know for any other reason than if I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I do think Berlanga shelled up a lot, and you know at times would engage, but very rarely. He was on his back foot a lot. But I just, I'll be honest, I didn't think it would have mattered. I do think Canelo would have eventually gotten to him, and he did drop him. He did land really good he had, he landed some really good, body shots, great body work for the most part, but it just wasn't quite enough to get the stoppage. Berlanga's also, it was very evident. We already knew he's bigger, but it was very evident, like he was just a lot bigger than Canelo. It's a lot of mass there, and the reality is this, right? We all have to come to grips that you know um, Canelo's not going to be getting these stoppages. You know what I mean? Um, Not in this division. It's they're always possible. He's knocking these guys down and hurting them at times, but the reality is, well, I know there's other factors. I do think that in this division he doesn't have that um, big devastating power he had in the lower weight classes. That happens to any guy that moves up. So nonetheless, he still won the fight pretty decisively. You know, I think got to give Berlanga credit, and you got to give him credit for hanging in there. You know what I mean? And so good on him. And we'll see what happens with Berlanga after this. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. You know what I mean? Um, I will say this. Now that this fight's out of the way, like where do we go from here? Like where, like what's so what now? Like okay, you beat Berlanga. We all kind of expected that, right? I still like the people that said Berlanga's going to win. I'm sorry. I don't want to insult anybody. I just don't believe you guys. I never believed you. I didn't really. I think it was wishful thinking, but I never really believed anyone who was confidently saying Berlanga's going to win. There was a few of them out there. I just didn't believe you guys. I'm sorry, right? I kept hearing, oh, like, what are you going to say tomorrow after Berlanga beats him? I guess we'll never know what I would have said, right? Because Berlanga was never going to be Canelo, and that's as simple as that goes, right? Um, my issue with Japan is this: who's he going to fight in Japan? Like, who's the dude in Japan that he's going to fight? And if it's against whoever, then why not just do it here? That's just me. Yeah, maybe Japan really wants to see Canelo really bad. I don't know. It is what it is. But I'm just a guy that like wonders like what's I don't know, man. Like you know what I mean? It's whatever. Nando, that's just wrong, brother. Button is sugar daddy. Come on now. Um, um, Look, I'm gonna talk more about like we're gonna have an ATP show and we're gonna have other days where we can do live. So I don't want to spend too much time on the whole card. Um, I will say the card was pretty much what I expected for the most part. McCumbee put up a better fight than I thought he was going to put up against Plant, but Plant nonetheless still beat him, and everything else kind of went how I expected. I will say that. So with Berlanga now behind us and moving forward, brings me to this. So Bud Crawford was at the Canelo event, right? He's over there shoving Teofimo, and he's, you know what I mean? Like he's making his presence known, I guess. And then he made a trip down the street. The Sphere's not that far from the T-Mobile. You know what I mean? Um, you get an Uber ride, whatever. Like, you can get there quick, right? So, um, and the thing is, like, and I'm gonna get to Canelo in a little bit, but it's amazing to me that you go to the Sphere with the purpose of taking a selfie with Turki Al Sheikh, with the purpose of showing that you're at the Sphere, right? Oh, look at me, I'm at the Sphere. I'm here with the Turk right here, right? With Sheikh Turkey, as Dana calls him. It's rich to me, right? That you sit there and you're calling out Canelo in a kind of in a slick way, trying to clown Canelo, right? Look at me, I'm at the Sphere. This is where it's at. I'm here with Jay Turkey. I'm over here at the Sphere event. This is where everybody's at. Even though we knew you were at the Canelo event, but then they show the graphic and it says Kendrick Lamar. Oh my God, bro. And it says Kendrick Lamar. And it explains who Kendrick Lamar is. Man, love butt, but that was not a good look. I know it was a mistake, but I'll tell you this: if Canelo was sitting right there ringside, and they panned the camera at him, number one, there would have been a roaring ovation in that crowd. Number one, second, nobody was going to confuse Canelo for somebody else. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Who's that guy? Let me see here. Um, who's that basketball player that looks like Canelo? You guys remember? I don't even know if the dude's still active, but they were going to call him that. You know what I mean? This is it Kendrick Lamar? Is that what they called him? I forgot what they called him already, but um, whatever they called the dude, bro. Like, let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to find it on Twitter. Let me see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I can't find the Crawford Kendrick Lamar thing. Let's see. Maybe I do this, and then oh, there it is. I found it. I found it. But let me get into pictures so I can zoom in. There we go. Bro, this is like you're over there trying to show the world, right? That the Sphere is where it's at, not the Canelo fight. Right here. This is where it's at, right? That's your purpose of being over there, right? Your purpose, right? Let me see if I can. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I'm about to show you guys. Imagine you're there. Yeah, I'm here to show everybody that the Sphere is where it's at, not the Canelo fight down the street. Right here with Turki Al Sheikh. Yeah, I'm a boxer and I'm gonna go against the boxing. Like all the people in the boxing industry over there lambiendo huevos. Look at them, right? Oh, look, this is where it's at. The Turkey out here, like doing this, right? You know, does Turkey know? Turkey does know that there's going to be fights, boxing events you're going to be part of, right? Trying to promote, and the UFC is going to be on at the same time, right? Well, but whatever. But anyway, Kendrick Lamar, Grammy Award. What are we doing? What are we doing? And he's being shown on the big screen. Okay, cool. And it says Kendrick Lamar. I mean, you can't. What are we doing, bro? Por andar allá, you know what I mean? Como perros, right? Por andar allá, look at this shit, bro. If you were shown on the T-Mobile big screen, I guarantee it would not have said Kendrick Lamar. It would have said Terrence Bud Crawford, 4th division world champion, is what it would have said. But instead, you're a Grammy Award winner, brother. You're a Kendrick Lamar. In that side of the street, that's what you are. You're a music artist, right? That's what you're Kendrick Lamar. Hey, at least he's a winner, right? Somebody looked at him and said, "Hey, look, it's Kendrick Lamar next to Turk Al Sheikh," and it put it on the screen, right? So while you're out there, let's be honest, trying to clown on Canelo and trying to shit on his event, right? You're over here and you're getting embarrassed in this fashion. And like I said, I love Bud Crawford, right? But I know what you're doing over there. You're over there, right, to trying to make a point, right? That Canelo should have been fighting somebody like me, not doing that event over there. Put me in, coach, and doing that tweet. I know exactly what's going on here, right? While you reap what you sow in this life. So it is what it is. It's not a big deal. I just think it's funny, right? I think it's hilarious. That's what I think. I think it's funny as fuck. And all these fighters that you see around, you're talking about, oh, I'm gonna go over there. Would have been like, man, they would be right there. If Canelo would have offered them the fight, they would be right there. And Canelo offered them the spot on the undercard. They could only hope. Like the only way you could be part of a big event is if it's somehow associated with Canelo on this side, right? Like of the planet. I'm talking about of that skill and of that degree, right? Where the weigh-ins have a sea of people watching, right? I know a lot of you are impressed when the UFC does it, and it is impressive, but you know who else does that? Canelo, right? But you want to be over there, right? In a sport you're not going to participate in a sport that's going to compete with you when you fight, right? I didn't see Canelo like when Crawford fought Spence, right? I didn't see Canelo over there like saying that, oh, you guys should watch the UFC event instead when there was a UFC event going on at the same time. You know why? Canelo doesn't care like that, right? Even if you're not in a high profile fight, Canelo doesn't go out of his way to shit on people's events, right? You show me when he's done that. So it is what it is. I get that the Berlanga fight was not what everybody wanted. I didn't want the fight, right? But this is next level stuff, right? Then Oscar De La Hoya with his tweet, right? I told you all to save your money. Another boring fight. Like, you know what I mean? Weren't you at the Sphere? Weren't you an invited guest? But you guys should get the Sphere. Why didn't you talk about the Sphere? Why weren't you filming at the Sphere? Why weren't you taking selfies at the Sphere and enjoying your time at the Sphere instead of hate watching Canelo? The dude's watching. He's hate watching Canelo while he's at the Sphere. Like, was he at the Sphere? I don't even know. But like, what are you doing? You jealous ex-girlfriend. That's what he's acting like. That's the only thing he tweeted about. Right? And then he's raza when it's convenient to be raza. Right? One moment, I'm not raza. I'm from the United States. Yo soy gringo. Right? Berlanga's not Puerto Rican. He was born here in the U.S., so he's not Puerto Rican. Right? But when he wants to tweet out about him and Vargas going at it, it's about raza and this is those Mexicanos going at it. Like all of a sudden you're raza. Like it's whatever to me. Right? No, brother. This is not a person trolling. This was real. All right. Now I don't know. You guys tell me if you could hear this. I don't know if you could hear it or not. We'll see, but I don't think you could hear it though. Uh, yes. Wow. I don't know if you guys could have heard. I don't. Um, I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. By the way, when Dana was talking, because I'm doing the share screen, but I don't know if it. I gotta figure out how the share screen could play the audio, right? You know what I mean? But can somebody answer me? Could you guys hear it or not? Like, can somebody say yes, no, something? You know what I mean? But it's whatever. Dana literally said, "Yeah, we kind of messed up a little bit, but he did look like Kendrick Lamar. We keep it real, like okay." Um, and it is what it is. It's a lighthearted thing, but I did hear that the UFC event stopped. Apparently, one of the dudes was got the other guy's back and started kissing his neck. I don't know, man. Like it's just this. That's what you all went like. I guess maybe that's why the lawyer showed up. Maybe he likes that type of stuff, right? I'm not making this up, by the way. The dude had the dude's back and he was kissing his neck. That's what they're doing in the UFC, right? Like that's what I saw on my Twitter timeline. He had O'Malley's back and he was kissing his neck to show him. And the guy did the interview, and he literally said, um, I'm not even joking about this guy. So I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but I'm like telling you what he said. I wanted to show him that I could dominate him and do what I want to him. That's why when he took his back, you started kissing him in the neck. This is what they're doing. This is what I'm being told boxing can't compete with. This is what we're losing to in the United States of America. Right? I'm just saying, like it is what it is, bro. It's cool, whatever, right? Valentina Chico, who I do like, by the way. I don't mind the women fighting in the UFC. I'll watch a woman taking a woman's back and kiss her neck. I mean, I don't got a problem with that. You know what I mean? Um, but I will say this: before I get canceled, Valentina Chico did her thing, but I heard all the it's boring, like such a boring fight, yeah, like I guess it was, yeah. I don't know, I didn't watch it. But I saw Turkey film some of the stuff. It looked cool, but it wasn't like I mean, I wasn't gonna pay fucking like $2,000 for that. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like it's whatever to me. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, I didn't get the sense that man, we really need a boxing event at the sphere. I just didn't get that sense. Right? They're just showing like a 90-minute, 60-minute little montage between the fights. And then they're making the background look like Mexico, and they have the screens up. Like, um, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like that's fucking crazy. It pinche literally not. You're not even listening to what I'm saying or what? Like I'm shitting on the UFC, but he just walked in. He heard UFC. Yeah, 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 yeah. Get hablar. Like it's whatever. All right. It's like that reporter. He's probably the reporter that asked Canelo, "What you think of the girl messing up the national anthem?" Like at the beginning. And Canelo told him, like, bro, it's not a big deal, bro. But anyway, bitchy style. He's talking about UFC all the time. Why are you talking about it? Don't talk about it. Don't talk about UFC. Talk about what the fuck I want to talk about. What do you mean? The fuck? Oh man. So I like. By the way, I like. So I get that the boxing was like, it was a fight. And look, I'll be honest, I enjoyed the fight. All right. I think the last 4 rounds were actually exciting. I'm gonna be honest. Um, I watched it at a friend's house. We enjoyed the fight. Look, I'm not gonna look. Am I gonna sit here and tell you guys it's a fight of the year? No, right? But I honestly thought that Canelo would have made him quit or knocked him out, and I was wrong, right? So I got to give Berlanga his credit, right? That he wasn't knocked out and he didn't quit, right? If anything, he kept that bravado even when he was getting his ass whooped. He was talking some shit. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Um, and I talked about that. The thing with Canelo is this, and Nando brought it up, like he doesn't press on the gas, but that's not Canelo's style. Like Canelo is not a guy that puts like presses guy like Isaac Cruz is going to go in there just like put on pressure and that's not how Canelo fights. Canelo is a mid-range fighter. He's primarily a counterpuncher. He has the ability to lead, but if he leads, he's gonna pot shot the shit out of you. I call it power pot shotting, right? He's throwing one shot at a time because that's the type of fight it is, right? He's controlled the fight to that, and it's easier for him to control the fight in essence that way, right? And if no one's gonna push him, right, and no one brings up the tempo, right? If you don't bring up the volume, he's not gonna do it because there's no reason for him to do it. And even when he has been like outboxed or something, he he doesn't quite like just change his style completely and start pressuring guys, right? I'm not saying that's what Nando says. I think what it means is like press the gas, like maybe throw more punches. And I do think Canelo could have thrown more, but he didn't, right? And it is a little frustrating, right? But I will say this though, man. Like I honestly think he did try to knock out Berlanga. He did land some good body shots. He did land some big shots upstairs, knocked him down. The right hand wasn't quite landing clean most of the time, but he was landing at one point almost 50% of his shots. I mean, it fell down a little bit towards the end, but he was landing a high percentage. And Berlanga was on his back foot. Berlanga was backing up, but Berlanga, like what I mean, he was being a little negative at first. But I think it's. I knew he wasn't going to come out of the gate swinging like a wild man, like people were saying. Because this is what I said before. I said, so Berlanga, a guy that started out knocking everybody out in the first round, despite his amateur career, by the way, right? That's how he started. Maybe he fell in love with his power too much. And then wasn't able to knock guys out anymore. Now he went from knocking everybody out in the first round to all of a sudden he's going full 8 rounds and a full, 10 rounds with fighters, right? So he spent all that time with those growing pains, improving, right? Because he did improve. And then with all those growing pains, finally, he has a fight where he doesn't look for the knockout. He lets the knockout come to him because he's boxing smarter, right? And he shows that improvement, right? Now he's going to fight Canelo, and then I'm hearing people say that he should revert back to what he was doing before he made that improvement. Oh, that whole thing where you're going to let the knockout come and you're improving as a fighter, you're being more patient and methodical, and you're still making a lot of mistakes, but nonetheless you're still improving upon them, right? All that, shove it aside, just go out there like a madman in the first round, just try to knock out Canelo. That's your only shot to win. No, if he did that, he would have gotten hurt really bad, right? I'm just going to say that. And that is that. Look, guys, I have more I want to say throughout the week, but I just wanted to come on here, give my thoughts, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in, even the ones that come in out of the gate. They barely come in. They hear me say USA. Ay, este pinche güey cabrón que se va a la verga. Like, chill out, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But plus I can talk about what the fuck I want to talk about. It is what it is, dude. You know what I mean? So I'll agree with 92 IQ except for Danny Garcia versus Lara. That fight was atrocious. And I don't know what happened to Danny, but it looked like he was reflecting on life or something. and he like took a knee, and he looked like he didn't want to be in there, right? And we'll talk about this later in the week. But this whole like daring to be great thing, um, it is getting old. Like the daring to be great. I'm gonna dare to be great. I'm gonna like it's getting old, bro. I'm just saying, it's getting old, and you could do great things in your weight class, and you could earn great things, right? Being handed a shot that you didn't earn, in my opinion, isn't daring to be great. So it just is what it is. Remy said it. I ain't gonna say it, but he said it. I think Danny Garcia. I'm just saying it in a very nice way. Danny Garcia reflected about life. Danny Garcia had a reflection about life, right? And questioned if he wanted to be there. And I think his father rightfully saw that and pulled him out, right? And a fighter that doesn't want to be in there shouldn't be in there. While the fight was very low pace, when Lara Woodland left, you just saw this face of discouragement on Danny, and you also saw a fighter that was completely just looked devastated at times because he couldn't mount any type of offense. I'm going to say this before I go. Lara Danny was probably the easiest fight to predict this weekend. The odds may not reflect that, right? I know the odds had it a lot closer. The odds were really good for Lara by knockout, right? Um, but simply put, I'll say this. Danny Garcia fights up from the mid-range and he hooks from mid-range. When, like I saw some people out there, I heard somebody send me like a clip of somebody saying that this is a great style matchup. It's gonna be a better fight than the Berlanga um, fight with Canelo. It's gonna be more exciting to watch. Like, and I remember hearing that. I'm like, no, that was not a close fight. That was not a that was a very easy fight to predict. And Danny doesn't fight on the inside and doesn't fight on the outside. He's a mid-range guy. He's trying to hook, and that open, and then he's very flat-footed. That opening was never going to come. Literally, Danny never came close to landing a devastating hook on Lara. He looked. Lara just had to two-step him. That's it. And I just saw Lara control that entire fight, and the volume was low because Lara's waiting for Danny. It's basically what's happening. But eventually, I think he just suffocated him, and Danny he didn't know what to do. I think he was frustrated. I think he was getting hurt with the lefts, and I think he kind of knew that he's getting tired, and it's just going to get worse. And Danny Garcia reflected on life, right? And made his decision. So it is what it is. With that said, this is D-Style Box. I appreciate everybody that came on. Shout out to everybody. I am out, guys. Peace.